each and every one of us here wants to feel happiness in life. There are several kinds of happiness. Friendship is one kind of happiness. Love is another kind of happiness. If you are a food lover, just to go to a restaurant, have a nice food, it's happiness. If you are a coffee lover, go to a coffee shop, just be alone, enjoy the coffee, there's happiness in it. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. More than happiness, there's a lot more suffering in this world. You open up the newspaper, turn on the television, suffering is all over. Murder, rapes, child abuse, everywhere. War, bombing, suffering is everywhere. Why is this? There are two types of suffering. One is physical, which we can think of as pain. You get hurt, or someone beating you, sickness, old age, eventually death. This is all physical form of suffering. There's another kind, which is psychological or mental suffering. Fear, disappointment, depression, anxiety, sadness. These are the other mental form of suffering. Yes, while you go through life, pain is inevitable. Pain is a fact. Pain is happening. But suffering doesn't have to be that way. Suffering is pretty much self-created. The pain, you experience pain in life, but you are associating, you are attaching that pain to your story or to your identity. That's where the suffering starts happening. Perhaps you attach it to a relationship that's no longer there. Let's say you step on a nail that hurts, that's physical. But you pull the nail out from your feet. Do medically whatever necessary to make yourself comfortable, but move on. Instead, if you start asking as to why were I that much idiot to step onto the nail in the first place, if you start asking questions like that, if you are attached to why it happened to me, that kind of thing starts the suffering thing. Let me share you an interesting story. This man fall in love with a girl. He wants to get married to her. Unfortunately, this lady was already in love with somebody else, and she got married and moved away. This man don't find any point in living anymore. So he went up to the hill, ready to commit suicide. There he found just another man who was there for the same purpose. They had this little chat with them. The another man told him, there was a lady entered into my life. She made my life so much hell that I don't want to live this life anymore. You know what? Both are referring to the same woman. Where is the suffering? Who is creating it? Do you think that all the happy people in this world experience success one after the other? Do you think all the unhappy people in this world experiencing failure one after the other? You will be surprised. There was a study done in California University that this is not true. Pretty much, both happy people and unhappy people go through same kind of experiences in life. The difference is, unhappy people think about the unpleasant things happened in their life more than twice the time. They keep on repeating this unpleasant event happened in their life. Let me ask you a question. If you went for a movie and the movie is totally sucked, you did not like anything in that movie and you came home, what would you do? You lost $10, that's okay, just move on, right? Or would you go to a DVD shop, buy that same movie, get into your home, keep playing that every week and watch it? What would you do? Suffering is not in the environment. Suffering is not around the people around you. Suffering is pretty much in our mind. Let me tell you, 5,000 years ago, people lived in huts. They did not have any comforts that we have today. No cars, no AC, no television, nothing. They also lived happily. Comparing to them, we all live in a palace today. But can you get to sleep today? You are thinking about the work. You are thinking about the Wall Street. It's all here. We are not able to sleep properly. We are not happy by ourselves. We are just capable of creating suffering just about anything. Let me tell you, if you are poor, not able to get into school, you are suffering. Somehow, if you have money and you got into school, now you are suffering not to get out of that with a degree. Let's say you are suffering, you are unemployed. Now you are given a job, aren't you suffering now? We are suffering, someone is suffering because not married and not having a family. Now you have a wife and kids, aren't you suffering? One way or the other, it's all about how you think, how you attach yourself. Suffering is not holding you. In fact, you are holding the suffering. Life is not a problem to solve. Let me tell you this again. Life is not a problem to solve. A lot of us thinking, okay, how critically I have to think to get through this. Life is not a problem to solve. In fact, life is a mystery to experience and live through it. Let's not hold ourselves back. Okay. Okay. Life is so beautiful. Let's just get here. If you make mistakes, that's all right. Committing mistakes is the only way to get to the right door. Let's all get into this life like a child and play this beautiful game. Mr. Toast.